If you are a Shopify brand that is currently struggling to scale your brand from 6 figures a month to 7 figures a month, the creative strategy system that I'm about to teach you in this video, I used to literally charge brands upwards of $20,000 for, and I'm gonna give it to you for free. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Anthony Camacho. I used to be a former senior strategist at some of the biggest agencies in the world, running ads for some of the largest D2C brands in the world as well. For brands like Manly Bands is probably the biggest brand that I ever run ads for. Literally 8-figure companies. Used to help them run their ads and scale their paid media and make them more money. And not only was I an agency or worked at agencies as a senior strategist, I've also currently am scaling my own brand to almost $10,000 per day in sales profitably at like 30% profit margins. And I have like literally dozens upon dozens of case studies helping brands go from $70,000 per month to almost $1 million a month. We helped this brand scale from $96K a month to $842,000 per month. We scaled this brand from 1.3 million to 2.4 million. So from 7 to multiple 7 figures. So if you want to do any of these 3 things in your Facebook ad account and you want help and you want a creative strategy system that will allow you to do that, then in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what I used to charge brands upwards of $20,000 for, which is the creative strategy system to be able to put more and more winning creatives into your ad account so you can scale your ad spend further and you can, guess what, buy that really nice Lambo that I know you really want. So totally kidding. Anyways, let's talk about the creative strategy system that any brand that is currently doing anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 per month that wants to scale to $1 million or even multiple 7 figures per month should be implementing, or that I used to implement to help deliver on that exact result. So if you are a brand and you currently do not have a system or a repeatable set of processes for producing more and more winning ad content in your ad account, you will not ever scale to 7 figures. If you are trying to find the success in your ad account by testing bidding strategies, by testing ABO versus CBO, by doing an ABO testing campaign and a cost cap scaling campaign, let me tell you something. If you put shit creatives into a cost cap campaign, they will not perform. If you put shit creatives into a highest volume campaign, they will not perform. The name of the game in 2025, if you want to scale your ad account and if you want to make more money with your brand, is creative strategy. And so it makes sense that the most important thing that you can do in your ad account is worthwhile to create a set of repeatable processes so you consistently and predictably put more and more winning ad content into your ad account. So I have a creative sprint system, and this is essentially a sprint, which is a term that I borrow from like the Scrum methodology, like people in tech. I've never been in tech, never been anywhere near it. So I just know it's from that methodology. And the way I describe it is a sprint is a 1-week focus period where we strategically test ad concepts. So every single week, and we're going to follow this system overview and process. So within a week, we're going to review our ad account. We're going to do research. We're going to come up with ideas. We're going to write down ideas to test. We're going to create the idea, and then we're going to get it live in the ad account and run it for 7 days. And we're going to repeat this process every single week, 4 weeks, every single month. And we do this like literally in perpetuity, because the more times that you do this, the more chances, more at-bats you're going to have in your ad account. And you're only one winning ad away from scaling your ad account and scaling your brand to the next level. So the goal of this process is to have a repeatable system for knowing what creatives to test in your ad account every single week. And effective creative strategy at scale comes from our ability to synthesize the following information to be able to know what ads to launch next. And synthesization, or the ability to synthesize, is something that I picked up from Ray Dalio's principles, where he talks about the most important skill, one of the most important skills you can have as a business owner, and really just as a normal everyday person walking through life, is the ability to synthesize information from all different facets of life, right? So the 3 main facets of information that we're going to synthesize for creating really high converting creatives is our ad account data, our market research, and our competitor research. We want to see what is performing, what is not performing in our ad account. We want to do research on the market to understand, has anything changed? Are there certain beliefs that we didn't pick up on? Are there certain pain points that we didn't pick up on? Or are there maybe ways in which the pain points have evolved since the first time we did research, or anything new? The larger the market, the more trending the market, typically the more updates that are going to happen in market research. And the only way to stay on top of those things is to be doing research consistently every single week. Then lastly is competitor research, looking at what our competitors are doing, what's working well for them, what's maybe not working well for them, and being able to use that and synthesize all of this information. As you can see, we synthesize all of that to create a hypothesis. Now, a hypothesis is basically a way for us to test creatives without just testing creatives. It's a way for us to be more intentional with our creatives that we're testing. And when I say more intentional, it just means having a way to break down every single idea that we have into constituent variables. So that way, when we go to test, depending on what variable we're changing, we'll know what variable is responsible for any differences in performances that we get. So if we form a hypothesis where we want to take our current winning desire, angle, awareness level, and just test a new ad format, because we know the things that we're keeping constant from the old ad to the new ad, we'll know that if, let's say, this performance improves, it's purely because of the ad format, because we left everything else the same. And conversely, if the performance gets worse, we'll know it's because of the ad format and not because of the desired angle or awareness level, because these things are already working. Okay, next let's cover the 40-40-20 rule. This is something I picked up from Nick Terrio. But basically, it's this idea where you should be focusing on 40% variations, 40% iterations, and then 20% on net new messaging. So as the name suggests, a new messaging is going to be a new desire or angle or way to position the product. Iterations are basically where we keep the messaging, we're changing the design and the visuals. And then variations are where we're keeping the messaging and the design, we're changing the visuals. So a little bit harder to kind of just see that as text and visualize it. So here's a visual example. We have an original ad. This is a variation. We're keeping everything the same. We're just changing the visuals. This is the original ad. We're changing everything in an iteration. We're changing the visuals, but we're keeping the messaging the same. So again, you'll see the copy is generally the same across these as well. And then we have new messaging, which is, again, a new desire or a new angle. Again, shout out to Nick Terrio. I got this and these examples literally from him, and I haven't seen anyone really break down the difference between like a variation or an iteration in this really simple and easy to understand way. So go check out his content, go check out his channel, really good content, and that's where I got this from. Okay, so you're probably wondering, all right, this is all great, it sounds good in theory, where do I start? I'm literally going to give you the routine that I did every single day and break down exactly what you need to do or tell your media buyer to do or tell your creative strategist to do if you want to be able to basically execute on the system and get more winning ads into your ad account so we can hurry up and put a down payment on a Lambo. Totally kidding about the Lambo. Hopefully, I don't even think the audience that watches this channel finds that funny. So ignore the cringe stuff. Let's just move on to the content. All right. So how you start the first sprint depends on the data that you currently have. So if you're just like, okay, I don't have a system, I'm going to try and adopt the system. Let's figure out how we can get started. So first things first, if you know which desire works, then you can skip to angle testing. Now, the way that you're going to figure out what desire your ads test is you're going to look at each of those ads. You're going to analyze them. Don't use AI for this. I want you to use your own human brain. And a desire is essentially what someone wants to get out of the product. So think about the core desire or the core want, or think about what you're trying to make people want in your ad. Like, so if you take one ad and you analyze it and you say, okay, this ad is targeting people who want to lose weight, then that's the desire. Or it's targeting people who want to be in a better relationship with their spouse. That is a desire. So if you already know what that works, you can skip to angle testing. Angle is basically the story or framework or positioning, the way in which you frame the product to the customer that activates that desire. So if my desire is to lose weight, then an angle might be get your dream body before your wedding in 30 days, right? So we have the desire, then we have the angle. Now, if you know those two things, you're going to go to awareness levels. Now, awareness levels is basically, it describes your customer in relationship to your product and the problem that you solve. So you have people who are completely unaware, who don't even know they have a problem. You have people who are problem aware, who know they have a problem, don't yet know about solutions, all the way down to most aware. People who know your product, know the problem, know your brand. They just need a little bit of incentive to get over the edge, like a really good offer. So if you don't already have several bangers, start from desire testing. So if your ad account isn't currently doing what you want it to do, just start from scratch, go straight to desire testing. Okay. Now, here's the creative planning routine. Every day, look at last 7 days of performance on the ad set level, filter by amount spent from highest to lowest, find your top 5 winning ads for the week based on spend and CPA, and identify the desire, angle, awareness level, and format being used. Spend 15 minutes analyzing all of last week's tests and document your learnings in the creative hit rate tracker. So a creative hit rate tracker is basically a way for you to document all of the creatives that are in your ad account. And then you can basically store your hypothesis. You can store the status, whether it's a winner or a loser, and then your learnings. Here's where you're going to document the learnings for every single creative. I'm not going to give this away because it's a super simple spreadsheet. I'm just going to scroll left to right. Actually, if you guys want the spreadsheet, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll drop it. I usually leave it as like an exclusive for my coaching program, but if you guys want it, I think it's really simple, but if you guys want it, let me know in the comments. Okay, so once you've analyzed all of last week's tests, you're then going to choose one variable that you want to test for based on your data. So From that variable, you're going to formulate a minimum of 3 hypotheses. So a hypothesis can be something as simple as, I think testing this new angle on top of this winning desire will improve my performance. Or I know the desired angle that's working, so I want to try the same messaging with a new ad format. So I might try a video ad or a UGC ad. Keep it really simple. Do not overthink this. You don't have to, it's not a PhD. We're not like physics professors, okay? Just keep it really simple. For example, what's your hypothesis? The solution aware ad is performing well, so I want to test the same thing, but with new visuals. That's it, okay? At least now I can track if something is working. It's like, okay, this ad was a winner. I know it's because all I did was change the visuals. I'm going to keep doing more of those visuals. Super, super simple. Okay, so from there, we're going to do, after we've done our analysis of our ads and we've formulated 3 hypotheses, what we're going to do is we're going to do the research to be able to turn those hypotheses into ads. So we're going to start with 25 minutes of market research online. We're going to look at forums. We're going to look at our customer reviews, Amazon reviews, competitor reviews, YouTube comments, your social media comments. Pretty much just do as much research as you can across all those different things to, again, see if there are any potential angles, desires, pain points, or anything else that you can pick up on that would be worthy and valuable in testing. Then we're going to do 25 minutes. I put get hooked research, but you can literally put any spy tool here. If you have Atria, you have Foreplay, ad library, you basically want to find any of the top performing ad formats from your direct and indirect competitors and see, okay, what new ads have they launched? What seems to be performing well? What ads have they launched in the last 30 days, for example, that are still on, right? Those are the formats that are probably working the best for them. And we save those things to test. Then again, each hypothesis is going to be one ad set or batch, and then you write them down in this sheet below. So after we've created our hypothesis where we say, okay, I want to test this with new visuals, right? Then we're going to look and do market research, and we're also going to do competitor research to get ideas for the visuals that we're going to test. And then once we come up with that ad, we're going to write down that hypothesis in our creative hit rate tracker. We're going to date it for the day, when we plan to launch it, what type of creative it is, whether it's a variation, iteration, or new messaging, our landing page, the ad inspiration, the visuals, the ad concept or format, the mass desire, the avatar, the angle, awareness level, and then our overall hypothesis for why we're testing this thing. We're going to formulate that hypothesis. Then you're going to move this ad into production. If you're making your own creatives, if you have a production team, you have an agency, you pass this off into production, they produce the ads, they give them back to you, then you change the status, you get these into the ad account, and then you launch it. That's it. That's literally it. Now you do this process every single day or every single week, decide on a cadence, or you do this entire sprint system. Let's go back up. Every single week. And if you do this repeatedly, if you have a system and a set of processes where you are looking in your ad account, seeing what's working, doing more of what's working, and using what's working to inform more ideas to capitalize on what's working, it is literally only a matter of time until you scale your ad account, because you're testing more creatives, you're constantly building off of what's working, and you're measuring with intention what variables are performing best. So again, you can do more of what's working and less of what's not working. Okay, that's it. Yes, I used to charge invoice brands up to $20,000 literally for running this exact system for them. If you're a Shopify brand that's currently at anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 per month and you want to scale to $1 million per month, book a call with my team if you want our help with doing that. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoy the content as always. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.